Hey guys, I wanted to give you an explanation of what we're going to be working on this coming week. I know we're kind of pausing where we were at in the historical humanities timeline because we thought it would be pertinent to look at what's happening now in your lives and let you guys do some research, do some reading, and then compare what's happening now with the coronavirus, COVID-19, to the most comparable historical phenomenon, the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. So to that end, we're going to share with you in Classroom the weekly assignment template that Frisco's made. And you're going to find it's kind of divided into two parts. There's the Monday through Wednesday kind of COVID corona research, and then there's the Thursday, Friday kind of comparing to some sources about the Spanish flu. The intent is not to freak you out about end of the world, because I think when you see what the Spanish flu was like, you'll see we have it pretty nice now. So when you're doing your first part, Monday through Wednesday, Corona COVID kind of Google searching and reading, just keep those doom and gloom perspectives that you might come across in mind when you start reading about the reality of the Spanish flu. That conservative estimates said killed 50 million worldwide. Some say up to 100 million in the space of three waves in 1918 to 1919. So to kind of put it in short, what you're going to do, Monday through Wednesday, you're going to research COVID corona, any area you want. You could look at pop culture reactions. You can look at, if you're into science, kind of the science behind it. And then once you've found something that kind of piques your interest, read it, kind of annotate it for the main idea, important evidence. And then we're going to ask you to collaborate digitally with two other people to kind of share what you learned. I'm going to do some categorization, like is yours a pop culture article? Is your friends more about the science? You'll see that there's going to be 6 basic categories that you're going to be able to compare with. Scientific, cultural, political, demographic, geographic, and economic. So all you're doing in this first phase is researching, reading, and then discussing with 2 other people. And the only thing you turn in is a Google form where you tell us individually, you tell me, I read an article that fits in which of these 6 categories. Okay? We don't care how you collaborate. You could collaborate on the phone. You could do a FaceTime group call. You could set up a Zoom or a Google Hangout, and we'll post some instructions in Google Classroom about how you can do those resources. And that part is done, okay? Now I know in this e-learning world, they're saying everything is due coming up Sundays at midnight for week 2 on. But since this is kind of a 2-parter, we need you to do part 1, your own research and discussion with some friends by Wednesday, okay? It's starting to rain louder here, so I'll talk louder. On Thursday and Friday, we're going to have you paired up with 2 other people, I guess tripleted up, with 2 other people that read something different than you read. So if yours was cultural and someone else read something political, then we'll find a 3rd person who read something economic. And then the 3 of you guys are going to read corresponding Spanish flu sources that I put together. They're 1 page in length that correspond to your category. So if yours was economic, then you're going to read an economic article about the Spanish flu. So when you're reading these, you're kind of looking at similarities and differences. Then the 3 of you are going to get together and you're going to share what you learned. And then you're going to create a thesis together that answers to what extent is the coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak similar to the Spanish flu of 1918. So you should recognize the structure of that question. To what extent is what we've been doing with writing all year. So in some ways you're going to say it's similar, but in these ways it's different, or vice versa. These instructions are all typed out, but I just wanted to give you a verbal way of me kind of explaining it to you. 2 things you're turning in. By Wednesday, a Google form where you've categorized an article that you read about Corona COVID. 2nd thing, and that would be what you work on Thursday and Friday, but you don't turn it in. I guess you could turn it in as late as Sunday. a thesis that the three of you wrote, and that's also in the form of a Google form. Okay, that's the basics of this. You can always reach out by email if you have more questions. Of course, there'll be stuff posted in Google Classroom about it. Peace out.